We're at the Vatican, where the election of the first ever Pope from the United States has taken place today. Cardinal Robert Prevost is now Pope Leo XIV, the leader of some 1.4 billion Catholics right around the world. Well, the white smoke emanating from a chimney high above the Sistine Chapel just after 6 o'clock local time. It was frankly a bit of a shock, coming less than 2 days after the whole process began. But the speed with which the cardinals had managed to find one among them to become pontiff suggested for many that this is a church united. Well, we'll have more on the man himself and what his leadership could mean for the church. But first, here's our religion editor, Aleem Maqbool, on the events of this momentous day.
The white smoke that turned a serene May evening into a moment of history and high drama. The excitement transmitting itself through the thousands who'd gathered in St. Peter's Square. Though few had predicted a result would come quite so soon. The bells of the Basilica, another sign that an as yet unnamed cardinal had been chosen to be the new pope. From all over Rome, tens of thousands now poured into the square. Marching bands had been poised to join them. Though the focal point was the Vatican, there was a sense this was an international occasion.
May he be the best pope with all the love we're bringing him. We want a renewal, a new church, and that is what we'll have.
Well, it's a bit of stability, hopefully, for the church.
It was more than an hour after the smoke billowed from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel that the protodeacon of the College of Cardinals stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. I announce to you a great joy, he said in Latin.
Habemus papam.
We have a pope, before naming him for the first time.
Dominum Robertum Franciscum.
Cardinal Robert Prevost.
Cardinalem Prevost.
And his chosen name as Pope, Leo XIV.
Leonem Decimum Quartum.
And the crowd didn't have too much longer to wait for their first look at Pope Leo. The man from Chicago took a while to take in the magnitude of the moment, and the cheers and the chants of the crowd went on until he spoke.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Peace be with you, he started in Italian. I'd like this greeting of peace to enter your hearts, he said, to all peoples, to all the earth, peace be with you. Very quickly, a theme of building bridges emerged. Through dialogue, through meetings, he said, we must all be one people, always in peace, and a word of thanks to his predecessor.
Grazie a Papa Francesco.
The challenges he faces within the church and as a new towering figure on a troubled global stage are great. But this was a day of celebration.
We're going to get a little bit more from Aleem a little bit later. What a moment it was when the new pontiff appeared at that balcony just behind me there. Well, what do we know about the new Pope Leo XIV and how might he lead the church? Here's Mark Easton.
The presentation of a pope is a supreme moment of religious theatre. Pope Leo XIV was centre stage to tell the world, this is who I am. His predecessor, Pope Francis, in 2013, wore a plain white cassock, eschewing the traditional grandeur of the church. Leo wore a gold and pink stole. He was making a point. Who is Pope Leo XIV? Born Robert Prevost in Chicago in 1955, he became a priest in his early 20s, working for the Augustinians in the city. But his career was divided between America and Peru, where he first joined an Augustinian mission working with the poor and marginalized, and then was appointed as a bishop in the country by Pope Francis. It was Pope Francis who also brought him to the Vatican, making him a cardinal in 2023.
It's not, I think, coincidental that Pope Francis chose me. I've been a missionary my whole life, but I am American, and I think I do have some insights into the Church in the United States.
Et ego Robertus Franciscus Cardinalis Prevost.
Insight is undoubtedly one of the qualities the cardinals will have valued. He has a reputation as both a deeply spiritual person, but also a practical manager, skills that will be vital for a pope looking, as he said in his speech, to build bridges and unify.
I think Pope Leo XIV will pursue Pope Francis's radical reforms with vigour and with enthusiasm, but I think there's also a traditional person there at heart, and we'll see someone who is, at his heart, a missionary. He's a missionary friar.
Pope Leo's in tray is bulging with unfinished business and divisive issues.
Look out, sexism!
The role of women in the church. The question of gay Catholics. And how to respond to the continuing allegations and scandals of sex abuse. He himself has been accused by a survivors group in Chicago of allowing known sex abusers to remain in ministry.
Ma sempre coraggiosa di Papa Francesco, che benediva Roma.
Multilingual, the Pope's speech in Italian this evening praised the courage of Pope Francis. His name, Leo, implies he knows he'll need to show courage too. The prayers of Catholics around the world will be that the universal shepherd can lead his flock to safe pasture. Mark Easton, BBC News.
Well, thousands of people had gathered in St. Peter's Square to witness the white smoke and get a first glimpse of the new Pope. I've been talking to some of those who made the journey here. Standing room only in St. Peter's Square. A moment for the ages.
Viva il Papa!
The rosary is well worn for some. For others, brand new. In the crowd, Father Jayanth Thrayan from India. He's studying in Rome.
We have a pope from America. We have a papa. We have our father. That's enough.
And for those from the United States, a sense of pride as well as joy. And what do you do?
I'm a student.
Yes, Andrea Gallardo is 20 and from Texas.
That's her slogan.
What a moment for you then, eh?
Yes, very exciting. I didn't expect it at all. Like, I didn't expect our new Pope to be American. So, very exciting, very emotional, especially me being raised Catholic all my life. Just knowing that our new Pope is also from the same place that I am.
Hey, USA, let's go!
He's happy.
Very happy.
How will he govern, and what will the priorities be for this first US pontiff? All that's for another time. For now, his fellow countrymen savor the moment. What do you think he is going to bring to the role?
I think just the love and showing that he has love for everyone, and just like all popes, they bring that compassion to people, and I think he'll bring that, and we're just excited.
Politically, America has had an outsized voice on the global stage for close to 100 years. Now there's a more humble, perhaps quieter American who could be just as influential. Let's get a final word from Aleem, who's with me. A cardinal with an important voice within the church. Now he is an international statesman, representing more than 1 billion people. What a day for him, and what a day for the church.
Yeah, it is really hard to imagine a circumstance where one individual goes from such relative obscurity to such global prominence in the bat of an eye in quite the same way. And certainly there'll be a lot of scrutiny of Robert Prevost, as he used to be known, over the next couple of days, his political views, his track record, particularly on dealing with abuse. But certainly from that short balcony speech, we got a sense of what he plans to do with the job. He kept on talking about peace. He kept on talking about unity. He talked about us being all one people. He talked about building bridges, so clearly building on the work that Pope Francis was trying to do. And you know, the voting cardinals, before they went into conclave, one of the last things they heard from their seniors, from the elder cardinals, was that they had to find a man who could deal not just with the challenges of the church, but that humanity was facing today. And the fact that it was a short conclave, relatively, 4 votes, means that some of them, a number of them, must have been convinced from the outset that he was that man who is equipped to do it. Huge challenges for Pope Leo, but it'll be fascinating to watch what he does with the role.
It absolutely will. All right. Aleem Maqbool, our religion editor, many thanks for that.